Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to thank you so much for being here on the Wednesday night live stream. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. But it's members only that can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch. And after you see the replay, you can always comment down below. But again, everyone with the icon are the only ones that can be in the chat room. And also, they're the only ones that can join me on the live stream because under the community tab, you receive a special link so you can come into the live stream if you would like to and discuss anything you want. Some of the perks. Anyhow, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, because tonight we're going to be talking about is your financial freedom at stake? And if you guys have been around or if you are new here, you're going to have to just deal with this situation. Your financial freedom is at stake because we're going to talk about it tonight. But just think about this. What if right now, all of a sudden, your ATM card doesn't work? The bank money that you have sitting in a bank, you cannot get, just for starters. All right. But of course, we have solutions here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to talk about that tonight and much, much more because this is the SSN Nation. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And no, I didn't forget. Nobody's coming to save you. SSN Nation gear, check. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did things a little bit differently today. I almost started with the end promo, but we had to redo it. So anyhow, we did that. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but being in this SSN Nation road trip, you know, things are going to happen. And stay tuned tomorrow. I might do a special, get this, daytime edition of a live stream. That's right. You never know. I want to be outside, right? So why not do one outside while we're down here loving the LA lifestyle? Now, speaking of that, please smash the like button. That's so the YouTube gods know that we have a few people in the house. And also let me know who's here. If you saw the trailer and if you received a YouTube notification, that will be greatly appreciated because you know how they do us here because we're trying to help not just one person, but if we do, that's a great thing. But we're trying to help thousands by the information that we give here freely in the no guru zone, no cost involved, no books to sell, nothing that we're doing here. So we do what you can do on the internet. You can search for stuff, but there's people here that actually do the damn thing. All right, so let's get into it. Look who's in the house. First of all is Professor Auntie Val. She has the icon next to her name. So I want to thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Wednesday night live edition where it's members only chat because she has that icon next to her name. And of course, she brings her tagline, ladies and gentlemen. It says, "Good evening, fam." She has the heart. She has the strength and the support. So thank you so much, Professor Auntie Val, once again for being here, even during your vacation time while you're out and about somewhere. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get into this tonight because is your financial freedom at stake? It is resoundingly hell yes, because I don't know about you, but we've been talking about inflation is going to rear its ugly head for the last 3.5, almost 4 years. Here it is. There's no mistaking it right now. And I want to start off because, yes, sometimes I have to scare you, but don't worry. We have solutions, ladies and gentlemen. This is SSN Nation. Stop struggling now. We're just not going to give you, that down and dirty thing that's happening to you. We have solutions for every little playbook to make things go bad financially for you. We have an opposite for it. All right. We have a solution. So keep that in mind. All right. So again, tonight, if you're watching this and you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why. It's because you have to be a member of the channel, not just a subscriber, but a member. That's the only way you can get in on Wednesday night. But on Monday nights and Friday nights and tomorrow, daytime edition, well, everybody can be in the chat room and everybody can watch any of the live stream videos. So once again, thank you so much for being here. But let me get into this. Your freedom is at stake. You guys know what's been happening. You looked at your grocery bill going up, not just from $2, $5. You've seen the numbers rise 100% more. So when they start telling you inflation is 7% or 10% or even 15, or even like I say 15% or 20, you know it's higher than that. You've been to the gas station. Gas didn't just rise 10%. It didn't go from $2.99 on the East Coast to $3.20. No, it went up to damn near $3.99, a whole nother dollar. That, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, is over 30%. All right. So just, don't bury your head in the sand. All right. You have to understand one thing and one thing only. When the federal government, just put it plain and simple for you, because that's what we do here. It's plain and simple. When the federal government prints money, all right, that means they were printing money out of thin air, which now means it's going to cost you more money to buy the exact same thing that you could buy yesterday. All right. So think about it this way. You have $100 and then all of a sudden it costs you $100 to buy an item. All of a sudden somebody drops in your lap after you bought the $100 item, drops in your lap $100. You didn't have to do nothing for it. But on the other side of the fence, that means the value of your dollars just went down. All right? Because now inflation is going to kick in because there's more dollars in circulation. Supply and demand all of a sudden kicks in. You have twice the supply, but you do not have twice the demand. All right? So you guys getting this, right? So it's going to end up costing you more money to buy the same thing. So that's your barometer. That's all you need to know. Just because they've finagled everything else to keep inflation, instead of it being 50% or 75% or 100%, they've been doing other things. But I want to show you guys something, because we're going to talk about this inflation first, because we have solutions. And one of the solutions is going to be SSN Lifestyle, which I'm going to be dropping a video about that tomorrow. So you guys got to be, I've added the last little thing so we can get this thing rocking and rolling. All right. But look who else is in the house. Victor Marrero is here. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room with the icon. And that is Victor Marrero once again. And he has his tagline. He simply says, "Hi all." But of course, "Let's do this" is still the tagline. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we do here every day. And with him, his help, and many other members' help, hey, we do the damn thing, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. Diesel Mike's in the house. He too has the icon, of course, because it's SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with members only chat. Thank you so much for being here. And he has a tagline as well. And it says, "Good evening, Eric and SSN family." Good evening to you too, Diesel Mike. Very, very happy to see you. Thank you once again for being here. Love your support. Thank you. Vanessa Gates in the house. LA edition. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. I appreciate it once again. Very nice to see you. And says, "Good eve, boss and SSN fam." Good eve to you too, Vanessa Gate. And again, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Auntie Val showing the love. What's good, sis? Vanessa Gate, of course. Hey, Professor Val. Hope you had a good vacay. All right. It was great. Hated to leave Las Vegas. Oh, she was over there in the LV, loving life. I'm sure it wasn't that crowded, but I'm sure she has stories. Oh, and by the way, I found a video. I found a picture. Speaking of Las Vegas, this is good. You guys know I used to play poker, but I'll talk about this in a second. But back to work. Okay, Auntie Val. Oh, check your mail. You should have had a package delivered on your return. It should have been there for you. All right. Finally, Fanatics got the stuff over there. So let me know if you got it. I know it's really so much to do and lots of fun. Exactly. That's all there is there. Hey, boss, did you get my email about that crypto info? Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I was just looking at it about 20, 30 minutes ago, and it was called, I can't remember what it was called. It was like Meta Fi Yielders. That was it, but I wasn't able to really check it out because, again, I started looking at it and it kind of reminded me of Celsius Network, Nexo, except it appears that it's a trading situation, an exchange of some sort. I wasn't really able to check it out. I just glossed through it. That's all I could do because I was getting ready. I only had like 20 minutes when I got it. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to be looking at that. But again, tonight we have to discuss this. Is your financial freedom at stake? And yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Do not make any mistake about it. Not only is your financial freedom at stake, you know who's else? If you have children, so is theirs. If your children have children, so is theirs. From now on, whoever is in the lower economic scale in our financial system, your financial freedom is going to be at stake. There's going to be a two-tier system if there isn't already, because once you understand, I mentioned this on Monday night, if you know the top 10% owns more than 70% of the wealth, then there already is a two-tier system in reality. It's just that we still have upward mobility. Why? Because we can make investments in the stock market. We can still buy real estate. But are you going to be able to buy real estate if real estate costs 1.5 million? If real estate costs 2 million? Now you're going to be in a situation that's happening already. How many people can afford to buy a $2 million house, whether it's by cash, whether it's by financing? You know why the numbers go down is simply because you have to make $500,000. Okay. Just to give you an idea. Now you start realizing who makes $500,000. It's less than 1% of the population. So now only less than 1% of the population can go buy some homes that are over $2.5, $3 million. Now you have a problem. All right. Even if your house goes up to that value while it's sitting there, like things have happened already. People owned $1.5 million home and all of a sudden now it's worth 2.5 or 3 mil. Yes, if they sell it, they can't go get that same house because they don't make $500,000 or more. So that's where the problem comes in, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you so much. Glad to hear it. Yes, it arrived. Many thanks. Thank you so much. We got to talk about repping those Cincinnati Bengals. That's right. I'm very happy. Look at all this time it took, but it at least finally got there. Meta Fi Yielders. Thank you so much. That's it right there. We'll have to talk about that probably on Friday. Got to get those freedom papers at Auntie Val. Exactly. Got to get them. And we got to talk about it, Auntie Val. I hope you left Vegas for more than you came in with, or at least equal amount. Yeah, that's the whole thing, Diesel Mike. That is why Vegas keeps growing. The longer you stay, usually the less chance you get to leave profitable. Now, hopefully, Auntie Val may or may not be in the gambling mode. Maybe she took some of that little bit of fun money and she put that on the tables. Maybe she ended up being a winner, but you know how this all goes. I'm going to tell you guys because there's always a little story time. Victor Marrero says at Auntie Val, good evening. Just found out today that we can save on ETH fees if we copy the ETH RPC code from one of our StrongBlock nodes into our MetaMask. Oh my, are you doing that? That is very interesting. I didn't know you could do that either. That would be cool. Saving on ETH fees is a plus. That's huge. In fact, that's one of the reasons why you guys know I'm against any projects that start on ETH except StrongBlock. Any projects that start on ETH or Bitcoin, I'm like, no, sorry, can't help you. You're running on that ERC20 token and want to use that extra, take 30, 40, 50 bucks just because. Why exactly? I'm just like, I can't do it. But nonetheless, we'll find out. Left up 400, Auntie Val. She comes home as a winner, ladies and gentlemen, because on that flight, they usually ask who's leaving as a winner. And generally, you have about 10 to 15% of the people say they won. The rest of the people say they lost. And out of those 10 to 15%, they really didn't win because they don't count other things. But nonetheless, congratulations on Professor Auntie Val on doing the numbers. Yes, sir. Learned about that on vacay. That's right. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even know nothing about it. That's right, Auntie V. That's the way to do it. Exactly. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen, because out here, it is a gamble. That's what's going on. Everything in reality is a gamble. Just because the stock market's been around for like over 100 years, it's still a gamble. Just because you invest in stocks doesn't mean you're going to win. Even if you invest in real estate, depending on the timing, you may not win, depending on how you invested in the real estate, right? So nothing is 100% for sure winners, but there are some things that give you a higher percentage of winning. Like if I go to Vegas, the 0.05% chance of me winning is exactly that. But I can go by real estate and it's way higher than 0.05, right? We know over time it's going to rise due to the devaluation of the dollar. So things have to increase. So by default, property is going to rise. So we know with about a 95% certainty, whatever you bought in 2010 is going to be worth more in 2020. Whatever you bought in 2022 is going to be worth more in 2032, right? We know this. There's no way around it, right? Because they're going to be printing more money. Somebody has to sustain this facade that we have called the United States, even though we're negative 30 trillion and 32 trillion, will soon be there. So nonetheless, we have solutions though. What are those solutions? I actually mentioned real estate. Everybody knows we talk real estate here, right? And that's the whole thing. You have to gather yourself some real estate because you know the value is going to go up. We just don't know how much it will go up, but it would be awfully nice if somebody else is paying your bill if you did not buy it free and clear. And if you did buy it free and clear, somebody's paying your bill. Once again, we have people here that may be watching that is under the misconception that when you buy real estate and you pay cash, that it's free and clear, that you owe no more money. Well, that's not true. You still owe money. Yes, you can live in it. It's going to be cheaper than a mortgage. But the fact of the matter is, if you paid cash, and since I'm in LA, let me just put it to you plain and simple. I don't understand. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you guys got to think about this. If somebody told you to pay cash and you did have $700,000. Oh, and I know people that live in LA, they're going, Eric, what are you talking about? $700,000. Okay. Yes, $700,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,500 square feet, maybe. If you paid cash, you still have bills to pay. You have taxes to pay. You have sewer, water, and garbage to pay. You still have electrical bills to pay. You still have insurances to pay. And in some cases, you may have HOA. And there's more. All right. Maintenance, upkeep, you're going to have a bill. Guess what? None of those go down in value either. The maintenance, the upkeep, the replacement costs increases along with inflation as well. So you don't get to escape because you wasted 700 G's on a house. The question is, why would you put 700 G's in a house when you know the economy goes downhill? You know it's going to cost you more money. So if somebody tells me today and they say, hey, Eric, I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to pay 700 G's down, I'd be going, have you lost your mind? Because that 700 G's, you could have just said, give them 20%. Let's just say something crazy, right? Give them 140 G's. That other 530 G's, you need that to generate revenue for you. It's simple. You're going to use somebody else's money, pay them, but you're going to use that $530,000 to make money while you sleep. All right? You guys know passive income. We talk about this. All right? So that's the reason why you don't want to do something crazy like some of these people on TV talk about, paying cash and feel like it's a badge of honor. That's fine if you're still making up $200,000 a year and all that jazz. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to get older. And that is a big chunk of money that could be earning you in this environment and today, with the way crypto's working, with the way you can earn even sleeping 10% on your money. So if you can make $50,000 a year on your money, which index funds, by the way, can actually do that for you. So let's not get carried away. It's not like you're taking high risk. $50,000 a year on your money, right? 4 G's a month. I think you can do that. Now, here's the other thing that people don't take into consideration. As long as you're earning passive income, the passive income is based on today's economy. So the 500,000 that you put in, 530, I'll say 500, 500,000 that you put into a vehicle that's earning you 10%, 5 years from now, that 500,000 has increased because the percentages has increased. What are you supposed to do with that 10% you're earning? You're supposed to reinvest it. It's free money. So you're going to take some of it and then put some of it back in. So maybe this next year you'll have 510,000 sitting in there. Another 10%, you're compounding. But the money supply is still going to be increased, which now means inflation goes up, which now means your stock prices go up, right? And that also means you have increased your net worth based on doing nothing, because inflation is going to go up, and assets mean inflationary objects such as assets make everything go up. And that's why the wealthiest always stay ahead of the poorest, because the wealthiest are able to obtain these assets like real estate, like stocks. And so when inflation goes through the roof, like 20% real estate increase year over year, 40% in the last 2 years, real estate prices have increased. People that own real estate, they're singing, dancing, happy as hell. Who didn't buy into real estate or have no holdings in real estate, you missed out on over 40% increase in just 2 years. Free money that you could turn into something else. So keep that in mind. So your solutions are right there for you. And we've been talking about this for 3 years. 4 years almost, coming up sometime in June or July, because I don't know the official date that I dropped the first video, but it was June or July. So it's 4 years I've been on this platform. We've been helping people. We've been talking about this. But you know what? A lot of people want that quick fix type of money. It sometimes takes a few years. Are you seriously not going to take 3 or 4 years, 2 years, 4 years, 6 years to get what you can get done that's going to give you passive income? Why not? This quick rich thing, I wish it would stop. But unfortunately, we have social media. All right. Yes, ma'am. Leaving now doesn't need my money. I need Las Vegas money. Exactly, Auntie Val. And guess what? You have an opportunity right now, although you can't get that casino money where you got to buy them for billions. But you don't need billions as an individual. You just need hundreds of thousands. Let's call it that, right? Everybody can live comfortably on that. So that's what she's working towards. That's why she, I believe, has 10 strong block nodes. Beautiful work. Stronger. I don't know what it is right now. I guess it's around $60, maybe even $65. I don't know. But all I'm trying to say is she is getting passive income. So when you start doing like $60 a day, $70 a day, if once it rises back up $80 a day, ladies and gentlemen, you can times that by 30 and you can get passive income. And if things hold on, let's say this goes for 5, 6, 7 months, and 7 years, and the price goes up to $100 a coin, 150, which could happen. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. But there are solutions like the strong block. Buy 10 coins, you get 10% of the coin price. Now, with all that said, there's other solutions similar to that, because there's nodes, there's staking protocols, there's pooling, there's a bunch of different things you can do in crypto. But crypto is so risky that one day your coin or token price could be $200. The next month, it could be $2. And that is what generally has happened inside the crypto space over the last 4 months, 3 months. And then never mind if we go back 6 months where coins were like $3,000 and now they're down to $20. Okay. So that's the reason why you have to take these things with a little grain of salt and with caution if you're going to be in the crypto space. And you can't panic if the price drops 90%. That's the way things are in the crypto space. All right. So what do? You try to find the safest projects that you can put your money in. The longest ones running, Drip Network, Strong Block, well, they've reached a year. They're still here. And there's hardly any that can say that. There's lots that try to claim, oh, we've been around for 2 years. Yeah, okay, well, you haven't been online for 2 years, right? You might have been around talking about something, but you weren't accepting millions of dollars 2 years ago and running that protocol, and it's still around. So once again, all the protocols have been shaken up. They've changed it, whether it was a DAO, even Strong Block, whether it's no matter a node project, they all had to change because that is the way of the world. At the end of this year, they're going to have to change probably again. And if a government comes out like the United States government and all of a sudden starts messing with crypto, just what happened with Celsius Network, going to happen with Nexo, BlockFi, they start messing with those guys, they have to change their terms of service and term of agreement, which now means United States citizens, you're screwed. All right? That's pretty much what's going to happen. Or you're United States citizens and live outside of the United States, not so much screwed. All right, let's see. Auntie Val, yes, Eric, I have 10 now, creating one node every 10 days. We'll work on the compound one node and cash one node each month based on market conditions. Exactly. She has options right now, ladies and gentlemen. She has put herself in position to create her own options on what she wants to do as far as profitability goes. All right. So there goes another solution for you. So again, Strong Block. In fact, why don't I just look this up? All right. I was going to go a different direction, but hey, you know how we do this on live streams. We can go anywhere we want, right? Sorry, hold on. I'm still calling Strong Block Strong Block. It's Stronger is what it is now, Stronger. And here we are. No, I'll get into that. No, we still have those guys. Don't worry. I just don't talk about them because the DAOs, we all know the DAOs went down, but the ones that are still here, Olympus, Wonderland, and Time still here. But I pulled out of Wonderland Time because of that guy that's running it, and everybody was giving him lots of love. He started clowning around while people were losing money, indecisions, and he's over here making jokes. I was like, hold on, man. You're getting carried away. It's time to roll. Okay, so here's that's not this isn't it. Hold on a second. I put in Strong Block price. I was getting ready to say it's not $27. That's Strong. You shouldn't have Strong at this point. You should have Stronger. So here we are, $56.80, $55 right now. So roughly $585, $590. You can get yourself 10 coins. Stronger. All right. They're coming out with their Stronger chain and all that. Now you're going to get the $5 per day, let's call it, tomorrow, times 30, $150 a month on a $600 investment. You can do whatever you want. But now if you had 10 of those, and we can use the example here, $50, right? So that's $1,500 a month. So if the price increases, remember, you're going to make more, which again, your financial future, just keep in mind, if Strong Block gets to stay around, right? If some of these node projects, if some of these DAOs get to stay around, remember next year, things are going to cost more. So therefore, if they invested in vehicles or somehow they can turn it into a product that's going to cost more, then the value goes up. Now, where are they going to get the value from for crypto? We don't know. That's still a mystery. This is why Strong had to change to Stronger because they wanted their chain and they're figuring that's more viable long term. Just like DAOs, their prices plummeted 99% less than what it was a year ago or 6 months ago or 8 months ago. they also decided, well, we better make some changes. Node projects also generally 90, 95, 99% drop. They too said, well, we got to make changes. So if you guys aren't paying attention, but you're here in the SSN Nation, then you guys are well aware of all the changes that have been going on, right? It's pretty simple. All right. So here we are. Diesel Mike mentioned this. Really, no more Hector Olympus. Didn't hear that. No, Diesel Mike, I'm not saying no more Hector or Olympus. The Dows are still here. A bunch of them are gone, though, like Snowbank, for instance, gone. Wonderland Time, not gone, but they're on life support. You have a bunch of them. Klima, still here. They're here because they have treasuries of millions of dollars. And we're not talking about $3 million. We're talking about 600, 400, 300, 100 million dollars. So it's not like they are worth zero money. And they did something that was very smart. They started investing in stable coins and things like that and getting a return of 6-7% on the stable coin. So they got smart and said, whoa, we got to figure out how to make some money, even though we're not. And then we have to change up. So they kind of stabilized their treasury by doing these other deals. And that's what Hector's been out here buying into other stable coins, into other projects like No Tomorrow. And they're putting in like 100,000. There's another vote for another 100,000 going somewhere. But no, Hector's still here. All right. Hector's still here. And now we're going to talk about Professor Antivalis saying buying strong token as well in small amounts, as it will also have a place in the strong blockchain. Antival, thank you so much for mentioning that, Professor Antival. That is because a lot of people may not have gotten that memo, because that is what is, I should say, misunderstood, because Strong Block has said that's the case, but people are like, okay, well, exactly how are we going to do this? Is it a governance token? What is it really? Stable coin? I mean, there's all kind of things. I haven't been really read up on what they're going to do or what they're going to do with Strong, but that price is $27 right now. It's down there. All right. So you got to keep that in mind. Okay. Making sense now. Okay, Diesel Mike, thank you so much. Glad to hear that. All right. Did anybody receive the trailer? Did anybody receive the YouTube notification? Let's talk about that. All right. So I'm going to show you guys something. Remember, in fact, since we're talking about this, I'm going to go to the neighbors. All right. You guys, I like this project myself. I like what my project is, SSN Lifestyle. I like it too. But here's what I really love: the neighbors. The neighbors is already giving you a percentage on your NFT that you purchased, whether it was a house, whether it was, they did was they came out with what they call these licenses and citizen program and things like that. So they have a membership also. And let's just put things in perspective, shall we? Let's just put things in perspective. When somebody starts acting like a government, right? There's two things going on. One thing is, just because you hold an NFT does not mean it has value. The only reason it would have value is if another person believes it has value. So in other words, the homes, the condos, and the mansions, those are NFTs in essence. They're staked, which is awesome. But after people buy homes and it's staked, where are you going to get the revenue from to pay for the staked NFTs? Because the game has not been made yet. All right. So what do? You do things like what you see on the screen. All right. Andy Ortiz, welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with members only chat. And of course, he has the icon next to his name. So thank you so much for being here. And he says, hello, everybody. Hello to you too, Andy Ortiz. Thank you so much for being here. And I got to get into this because look at what you see here. The golden citizenship, the gold driver's license, the gold boat license. Does this seem familiar in real life? Just like your fishing license, your driver's license, I mean, your airplane license. I mean, what is going on here? HOA, because now I'm a citizen in your homeowners association. I live in the neighborhood, so now I got to pay what they call it a golden citizenship. I call that an HOA fee, as far as I'm concerned. But get this, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what happens. Remember, now let's backtrack to what I said. They stake the NFTs. The NFTs don't make any money by themselves, right? Even though they're staked, even though you're receiving something, that means what? That means you would have to have money coming in from people buying the neighbor token, or you create this type of deal. Golden citizenship. But here's the beauty of this. It's only worth one neighbor. Okay, I say only. A neighbor's like $100, so it's $100. And look, ultra rare NFT, look down here at the bottom. But get this, you get another 3%. So anybody that had a condo, they were already getting 3%. But if you bought a golden citizenship, now you're getting 6% per day of the token price, which in this case is like $6 or $7, right? $6 actually, because it's $102 or $103. I'll show you something in a second. Now, though, this monthly NFT drop, worth it. Discounts, cool. First exclusive access to metaverse and avatars, cool. Lifetime whitelist, cool. But here's the problem. Right down here, you must have 2 properties. Not just one, but you would have had to have 2. And get this, application for this program's already sold out because they only had 50 of these golden citizenships. Needless to say, there's thousands of people that own NFTs here. So the fact they only gave out 50, that was like first come, first serve. Whoever woke up at the right time and they're gone. And you would have had to have 2 properties. And they're making you claim every 10 days. So that makes an ecosystem. So how do you create an ecosystem? They just created somewhat of an ecosystem. But again, you're still going to need demand. So they need to get their game out here or marketplace out here, because the marketplace isn't up yet. Marketplace needs to show up. But in the meantime, they do this. But look at this. The gold driver's license, 0.06. So if you had a condo at 0.03%, and then you got this gold driver's license and you went to 0.03, that would be basically 9%. That would be pretty awesome. But now look, you need 2 mansions to qualify for this. Ladies and gentlemen, mansions are 10 neighbor tokens. That's right now, that's $1,100. Let's call it $1,100 each. So that's $2,200 to get a mansion. A mansion, you already get 10%. So now they're giving you another 6%. What are we talking? That's 16%. That's insane. I don't know how you're going to sustain this. I love what they're doing because this creates a government type entity where they have money coming in, but they're going to have to pay this money out in rewards. All right. And notice these are not sold out, by the way. Oh, wait. This one is sold out. It just got sold out. It wasn't sold out an hour ago, but they also had about 50 for each of these. I don't know the exact number, whether if they increased this to 100 for these. The first one I know was 50. I don't have 2 mansions, so I didn't care about nothing else, because now the gold boat license, you needed 2 mansions. And now it's saying, oh, we're sorry, you're not eligible. That's correct, because I don't have 2 mansions. And you have to claim every 15 days, which is very interesting. Now, if you claim, there's going to be a claim tax. So now you see why they're doing it every 15 days. That puts some money back into the system. So you see how they're making their own ecosystem work. And then look at all these others. Now they start getting real crazy. You need 4 properties, 6 properties. I mean, we're sorry, you're not eligible. I know this. Gold construction permit. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, worth 10%. But again, what do you need? You need 6 properties and minimum of 3 mansions. Okay. I'm just giving you an idea. This is what people have to start thinking about when they're in crypto. How are you going to keep the ecosystem going? And now they're claiming every 20 days. This is significant. 10% a day is significant, right? So if you already have 3 mansions, you're getting 30% neighbor price. Now you're going to get 40%, but you got to claim every 20 days. And that's going to be a 10% claim tax. There you go. Just keep that in mind. And that's going to be a significant amount of money, quite frankly, because right now, if they had 40% a day, that's $40. 40 times 20 days, that's $800. 10% claim tax, $80 comes back. You have about 50 people doing this, maybe 100. I don't know how many they have for this. But all I'm saying is let me know what you guys think. That's pretty serious. All right. That's pretty serious. I'm going to show you something else about that too. All right. Andy Ortiz, we saw you. Yep, got them. Thank you so much, Auntie Val. Received the notifications. Beautiful. That's 2 people with Vanessa Comagate chiming in. And Diesel Mike says receive both. This is a new record. 3 people have received both in a row. All right. Let's see how many more people have seen and received these. Okay. Now, I'm going to stay on the neighbor because I like what they're doing so far. I mean, I got to say again, I said I was going to show you guys my stuff anymore, but since I'm talking about it, I'll show you. Let's see if it comes in sometime soon. But the thing is, the reason why I like them is because their token is staying around $100. All right. It went down to around 95, 94. Then and because of today's situation, people had to buy the neighbor token to buy these licenses. So therefore, the price obviously is going to go up because the demand incurred, right? And the demand is going to be over the next few days. So I want to show you, I own a home, so you can see that it was 0.6, which is 6% a day, which generally is about $6 a day, right? So I just want to show you right now, in order to get up to one neighbor token 02, I already have done, like, I claimed at about 12 days, 13 day, no, it wasn't 12 or 13. Hold on. It was about 8 because it was 54. All right. It was 0.54. And that's when I did the claim just to make sure it actually worked to claim. And it went into my MetaMask. And so therefore I had 0.48 because they take 10%. So after that, I let it ride. Okay. So generally it's less than 30 days. And now we have one neighbor token because we get 6% per day. All right. Which is passive income, ladies and gentlemen. This is a solution. And this isn't the only project that gives passive income. But again, their token price has been a certain thing, right? It's been around $100. It went up to 140, 150, somewhere in there, then dropped to 94, 93, something like that. So right now, today, it's over 100 again. So the 6% will be another $6, but they're giving you in neighbor. So therefore, I have to transfer it into AVAX. All right. So it doesn't really matter that much, but it kind of does. All right. Because in neighbor, it's worth, let's call it $105. Okay. But in AVAX, now AVAX is around $74. So now it's going to be worth almost same thing, almost 1.2, 1.1, no, about 1.3, 1.4 AVAX. So it ends up being the same amount of money wise, but just letting you know, that is not bad. So you can imagine if I was able to, well, I would have had to buy another property, and instead of me getting 6%, even if I'd have bought a condo, that would mean I'd be getting 9%. And then if I was lucky enough to get one of these membership programs, I could have added 3% more. So I could be getting 12% if I would have been able to handle getting another one of these and awake and doing what I needed to do. Because they did it like early in the morning. And in some cases, it was 2 a.m., 3 a.m., depending on what time zone this stuff happened. So anyhow, we would have been up to 12% because I would have been earning from 2 properties instead of 1. When you add this other one, if you had just got a house, a condo, and this, you'd be doing 12%. That's pretty significant, right? So just think about it. That's the way going forward. They're almost doing a play. Oh, and by the way, I guess you can see now it's actually 106. See, again, this is the reason why it went up, because now there's demand. You have thousands of people or hundreds of people buying the token because they want to get in on this membership, this license fees and things like that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, in crypto, you always need demand. And this is why on strong blocks, good side, people were investing in strong block all year. So they always had the demand to create nodes. It's when the prices started dropping for almost across the board for crypto that all of a sudden they had to all of a sudden their price started dipping, which now meant the demand decreased. So again, this has nothing to do with the projects per se. It has to do with supply and demand. No matter what you're selling, there always has to be demand. All right. Now, with all that said, that's another solution. I just gave you the neighbor, okay? But it could be anything. I mean, it could be a node project that you like. It could be another NFT project you like. It could be strong block. It could be the DAOs, the Olympus, the Hectors, the Klimas, which are the main three guys we talked about before. And it could be Drip Network. And oh, by the way, down below in the description, in case you're just watching this and you're not familiar with what we do here, get your free shares of stock from Robinhood or Webull. Start your brokerage account if you haven't already. Also, down below, get your free $10 from of Bitcoin from Coinbase if you're not even into crypto yet, and the free $5 of Shiba from Webull. Same thing. The links are down below in the description. All right. So I just wanted to say that. Now, I want to get into other things as well. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to. Oh, there we go. All right. So let me know what you guys think. And oh, by the way, we had a discussion on Monday about the beach. The beach. Here's the update, because the beach in Punta Cana City, they were going to have this word about they're not going to have the hotel. Well, it is true that they're not going to actually have, and I didn't know this, Marriott was actually going to be the hotel. All right. It was going to be branded Marriott. Now, me and Marrero were talking about the downsides of that. And again, when I found out it was Marriott, I was like, okay, I'm glad you're not a hotel, because Marriott's one of those companies that if there is a component where there's a built-in HOA, it's no surprise that a Marriott, a Blue Green, a Holiday Inn, any of those companies would come and try to be part of this, because they actually siphon off homeowners' monies. You're going to be paying HOAs. They're going to be on the board, and they're going to be siphoning off your money to make sure that their hotel property stays up to a 4 or 5 star. And you're sitting there pissed because you're sitting there walking around like, wait a minute, what are you guys putting in? After you see when they break out with the financials at the board meetings, and you're looking there like, okay, so you received like $1 million from HOA, and why is $500,000 going into Marriott for the upkeep of the hotel? And you're sitting there like, wait a minute, I thought you're the hotel. You should be paying for all that stuff. Why are we paying for it? That happens time and time again, because the board is going to vote it that way. That's why. All right. You don't have, it's going to happen. So nonetheless, I am very happy to hear that. But also on the other side, that also means they changed it into where they're going to have a management program. And they said that they're going to list their homeowners, if they want to be in the listing, to 30 different platforms around the world to rent out owners' units. So instead of bringing a hotel in, they said, forget the hotel. We're going to rent it out for you under the management program. I said, cool. Here's the other thing. Everything that was going to be in the hotel is still going to be there. The restaurants, the spa, salon, the event room, fitness room, all still going to be there, the same amenities. So that's when I was very happy. I said, okay, that is cool, because that now means that they're going to contribute to the project, meaning they're renting out the space. That money has to go back into the project. So I was like, okay, you don't have your hand out waiting to use that money for the HOA. So now I feel good. I feel a lot better about the project, because I was thinking, hold on, you're not going to have management there? What's going on? Nope, they're still going to have management. So that is good news in case anybody was thinking about getting something at the beach or was indecisive about that. That's exactly what's going down. Now, let's get into the baby, the SSN lifestyle, because Stop Struggling Now, this YouTube channel, is the precursor to SSN lifestyle. We're talking about remember how I always said I wanted this to be the final frontier, where somebody who can invest and be in the SSN lifestyle network and membership, where you're going to be able to get, passive income of some sort. Now, we're not promising thousands of dollars passive income, but the bottom line is you get automatic bonus pools, so to speak. It'll be on the channel, the Stop Struggle SSN Lifestyle channel. I'm going to be making some videos. So this is going to be starting. It's actually already started. And also we had this thing in our terms of service and membership, is that once somebody joined, you were going to start receiving your bonus pool money after you were a member for 6 months. All right. Well, I'm going to change it, because bonus pool money is going to start, that passive income is going to start next month. All right. Just giving you a heads up here. SSN Lifestyle members don't know, but now they'll know. You're getting, if you have a free membership, you don't get to be in the passive income. But if you have the Founders Club, they get their passive income. The Premier gets theirs, Elite gets theirs, Pro gets theirs. There's only 4 membership levels. So I just wanted to say that, because you guys have to understand, we're making it happen. It's going to go down. So once again, here is the SSN Lifestyle. The link is down below if you want to go and become a member. All right. Sure. It's still like we're in, even though I called April 2nd as an official somewhat launch date, or shall I say pre-launch launch date, because we were going to do 6 months before we were going to give out any bonus pool. That's when it was going to start. Well, it's going to start next month, in the month of May. And generally it's going to be towards the end of the month. There's no set date, but it's going to be in May. And sure, the check may only be $10, $30, $50, who knows, but it's not going to be anything crazy. It's not going to be hundreds at this point, unless something crazy happens, of course, where all of a sudden we have an influx of memberships, then that would increase the value of the membership. So there we go. It's working almost on the same way that people are trying to think of crypto and staking. Well, think of it kind of that way. Your membership means you are actually staking and being in a certain level. And how this actually works, just so you know, I should do a separate video about this, but so you know, basically there's 4 levels, right? So if there's 4 levels, and let's just say overall, I'll keep it simple. Let's just say overall there's going to be $100, right? Okay, so just keep in mind, if you're in the first level, which is the Pro level, you get, let's just call it $10. Doesn't matter what the number is. The second level, because you get $10 from the first level, and the next level could be, let's say, $20. So now the Elite member, they get 20 and 10 is 30. So now their bonus is $30, right? The next one up, let's say their bonus is like 25. So they get all 3. And then the Premier, and then the Founders. So therefore, that's how, depending on your membership level, you receive more bonus pool money. That's beautiful, right? That's how we do it. And by the way, passively as well. So here's how it's going to go. Just like anything else, whether you're in crypto, whether you're in the stock market, whether you're in the ETF, the more money that comes into the platform, the more profits you make, the more money can be added into a bonus pool. It's simple. It's not rocket science. It's mathematics. So if you want to get into something that you're actually going to increase value, and oh yes, there will be some crypto once we get that all worked out, because then there can be something attached on a blockchain for your membership, which now means it's staked and it's going to be turning into something else. You know, we always talk about the future, right? You got to go with the future, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's coming. So why not get yourself positioned to be in the future? It's simple. We're just not going to go with the simple membership. We got to be in the blockchain. We got to make sure that we got it staked right. We got to make sure that we move to some other platforms later on, right? Beautiful. All right. So let me know if anybody has any questions about that. But I just wanted to give you an idea so you know there's passive income coming in from your memberships. So there you go. And there is one other thing I should make very, very clear, because just like any membership, just like there's any taxation, just like if you don't pay your HOAs or your memberships or whatever, you're not going to get your bonus pool money if you don't pay your membership every month. Just saying. All right. So let's just keep things real. You have to be paying your monthly membership, be up to date, then you get your bonus pool money. It's that simple. All right. Let's call it what it is. This is business. All right. This isn't charity events. So once again, go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That is a new feature. That's not even announced yet. So it's coming out. I'm going to announce that. I'll be putting it on the website probably tomorrow or the next day. So just think about that. Then we'll be on road trip out of LA in a few days. So stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, if you came late, I'll be dropping probably either a morning or an afternoon live stream. How about that? How about that? Why not? Right? I don't have much to do tomorrow. So we're going to do something like that. I got to talk about something because tomorrow I'm going to be dropping a video too, because traveling all down here, right? 350 miles or something from Sacramento, driving around, getting ready to go 3,000 miles. Can you believe tire ruptured, battery dead? Unbelievable. I can only imagine I'm traveling across country and being in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Texas somewhere, and all of a sudden your tire goes out, or you pull in a gas station and your car don't start. That would be crazy, right? So it's funny how things work out. Just like in life, I'm dropping a video just about that too, because we're going to talk about it. But just like in life, obstacles happen and you have to be kind of prepared, because the unknown does occur. Life happens, right? So let's see what we got to talk about tomorrow, but that's going to be the video tomorrow. So if anybody has any questions about that SSN lifestyle stuff, we can talk about it. But all of a sudden, I'm going to be dropping some videos on that channel. I've never dropped videos on the SSN lifestyle channel yet. So you guys have been able to get in cheaper than everybody else and first, knowing what's going to happen. And I only thought it was right that I let you guys know, because you're the inspiration on why this is going down. And because of all these other people out here that are trying to, shall I say, scam other people. Okay. It's kind of crazy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get back into, is your financial freedom at stake? Hell yes. And before I forget, we're 1 hour in. My, how time flies. Please smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, and click the all notification bell, especially if you think about subscribing, because again, if you subscribe, they do not send out information. So that's why you have to join the newsletter. Down below, straight up at the top of the description below the video, there is a link to join the newsletter. I send out, generally 90% of the time, I'll send out an email before a video comes out or live stream. So that's how you'll be able to get it. All right. Now let's get back to the solutions. Everybody knows we always talk about the stock market. We talked about dividend investing. All right. That is simple enough. You can check out previous videos. I mean, I can talk about the ones I love. PSEC, P as in Paul, S as in Sam, E as in Eric, C as in Charles. We can talk about ORC, O as in orange, R as in red, C as in Charles. We can talk about AGNC, A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles, right? we can talk about those. That means on average, you'll probably be somewhere around 11, 12% if you got all four of them on your money. But the thing is, we always talk about the downside, because if the economy goes bad, there's a correction of 30 to 40%, 30% bear market, they may stop their dividends. All right. The fact that the market keeps doing this yo-yo, down for 2 days, up for 2 days, down for 3 days, up for 3, you don't have to worry about your dividend at that point. But if it drops 20%, you might have to worry about it at that point. All right. So just letting you guys know. Now, I'm going to do something because I got to get some water and I don't have any water in here, but that means I got to do the promo real quick, right? So let's do a promo. Let's do this one. Let's do this one, shall we? Yeah, we'll do this one. Then I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So this is the time to get a drink. We got about a minute, somewhere like that. So then I'll be right back and we can continue this conversation. Is your financial freedom at stake? And we have solutions. I don't know. He's got a good shot.
A lot of competition.
The guy can play. But we all showed up to dethrone him this year. But I brought him something. Courtesy of Poker 101A. This is his jersey. And then we're going to auction one off.
Oh, sweet.
So he's got another one.
Great.
All right?
Very
We got
nice.
some heavyweights here.
It's all right. You can hold your own.
David Devilfish Juliet. You know, I'm here. Phil Ivey might even be here. I mean, we have heavyweights here tonight. So us little guys, we're going to have to do something serious.
Here he is, the man of the hour, Don Cheadle. Last year's tournament winner, arriving to defend his title.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All right, now, in case you're new here and don't know, yes, I used to play a little poker. And because I had to look on my hard drive trying to find the elusive Bitcoin, which I have not found yet, it's not looking good unless it's in delete folders, because I went through a whole bunch, hundreds of folders, can't find it. But you know what I did find? Interesting enough, Don Cheadle's here in that video. And so now I got to shoot Don Cheadle a message and give him a picture, because a lot of you may not know, back in the day, he played poker, right? He's at that tournament. He actually won. And so there's hardly any videos of or pictures of him at the final table. And so I found some pictures of him at the final table. So I got to shoot him over to him. He might want those. And I have also another friend of mine who was also at the final table with him, which is very interesting. And it's a lady named Lacey Jones. And I've been trying to get her on because she actually has products, women's products, that is, for facial, skin care, and things like that. So I was trying to get her on so we can talk about business, of course. And she's at the final table with him, which I saw that and I didn't realize it, even though I was there and I can't even remember it. But anyhow, nonetheless. And then I found the Poker Player's Dream, and I'm probably going to have to bring this out on Friday night, of course. But the Poker Player's Dream for guys, right? Most guys divorced, broke up with their girlfriends because what are they doing? They're sitting here 6, 7, 8 hours a day playing poker, right? And even when you're home, you got to hone your skills. So what are you doing? You're playing more poker. So the morals to the story is, just like I always call real life, it's still real life, but just like the moral to the story is, that's a business. So therefore, just like when you're running your own businesses, you might be spending 10, 11, 12 hours, maybe more a day honing your skills, learning something new, always trying to beat the competition. But as an individual player, whether you're playing any sport, you always are trying to improve to create a better version of yourself. Just because you may be great does not mean that you're going to be great forever. And that also doesn't mean that your competition can't catch up. They might be studying, they might be working, they might be looking for an alternative way to beat you. every night for hours trying to figure out how they can get more share of the marketplace, more share of the businesses around them. That's what they're thinking. They're sitting there going, man, how can I get 10% more of this market share? And that'll increase my revenue another 30%. So again, you could be out here playing, but somebody else is out here thinking, I got to do something. So again, as a poker player, you're not sitting there thinking, okay, I won the tournament today. What you're thinking is, I won the tournament. Now I got to see the hands and what other people were playing. So now you're going home to study. You're sitting there going, what hands were these guys playing against me? And then you're thinking, how were they playing against me? Because there's a perception of you at the poker table. Just like when you're out here and people drive up and they have a $400,000 car, that's a perception. A person lives in a $10 million house, that's a perception. Whether they own it or not, that's another story. But the fact of the matter is you still have a perception versus a guy that lives in a 1-bedroom shack and he's just wearing jeans and t-shirt. Perceptions are going to be two different things. So therefore, when you're into business, into like individual like poker, you have a persona. So therefore, at the table, you want to know how people perceive you. Are you a player that's willing to gamble, so to speak? You the guy that sits there and has like, if anybody knows poker, somebody has like a 7 deuce, right? 7-2 in their hand, and they're raising people, right? Are you that type of player? Or are you a player that's waiting around for the best hands ever? You know, ace, ace, king, king, ace, king, ace, queen, and before you're even going to play, you need to know. And then you also need to know what that player is doing. All right. A lot of players are conservative. So therefore, you need to know if you're playing against a conservative player, because then you'll be able to bluff them easier than a loose player. Conservative player, you can re-raise them and they'll be like, okay, I'm out. But a riskier player, you re-raise him, he'll re-raise you. You need to know what type of player you're playing against. And therefore, you're going to be making moves in your head already. You know what to do. So all I'm trying to let you know is your freedom is at stake. So therefore, even if you're doing something now and you're very successful, you still continue to have to learn to be better. You have to learn because your competition is out here trying to take over, or doesn't even have to be competition. There could be something new that comes out and it changes the shift, the paradigm shift, as they say, changes because it's new. And that's basically what crypto has done over the last 10 years. All right. There's billions of dollars into crypto space right now that normally would have been into other places. It would have been in the real estate, gold, silver, precious metals, and it would have been in the stock market. So the fact that these billions of dollars are in this digital thing that is only held in wallets and places that the general financial system can't touch, that's concerning to them. But that was a paradigm shift, because now people are able to make money different ways outside of the system. So again, somebody, Satoshi Nakamoto and the crew, they were sitting there 10, 15 years ago, 16 years ago going, man, what if we come up with this, this digital currency that you can't really create out of thin air, like a dollar bill. People own it. That means the value, 1 Bitcoin is still 1 Bitcoin. It doesn't really matter if the Bitcoin costs 3 cents, 20 cents, 50,000. It's still 1 Bitcoin, right? So when somebody goes, I need 4 Bitcoin, you can laugh at the guy that gave away, I don't know how many it was for the pizza, but at the time, that was what it was worth. But if somebody said, hey, it's worth 4 Bitcoin, okay, it's 4 Bitcoin. Tomorrow, if the guy says it's worth 4.5 Bitcoin, it's worth 4.5. But the point is, it's a number. You don't get to sit there and say, well, we're going to print up another 20 million of them, like the Federal Reserve, right? So therefore, your financial future would not be at stake because it's a fixed number. Now, the question remains, what happens when all of the coins, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, it doesn't matter what it is. What happens when these coins, are they really going to act like this Satoshi Nakamoto type of program where we're not going to print up anymore? I myself, I have serious doubts because so far crypto's acting just like governments act. They're taxing people. They're doing the same thing. They're not doing anything different so far. All right. So just keep that in mind. That's the only thing I have about crypto. I'm just like, you guys are acting more and more like a government entity, bad mouthing other coins, just like the government agency. Governments are bad mouthing Bitcoin and all their coins instead of using their dollar bills. You guys are doing the same things against other cryptos. So it's not like you're different. You're taxing people, you're charging fees, and it's going to the people that are running the program or the government. Same thing. It's not much different that I can see right now. It's disheartening. And this talk about DeFi, decentralization, is it really DeFi? Is it really decentralization, right? So ask yourself these questions. Now, what if they're not sustainable is another question. But again, your financial freedom is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. Can you afford to sit on the sideline? You really can't. You're going to have to take risk. That's another solution within our solutions. You have to take risk with your money. I don't really care if it's 3%, 5%, 2%, 1%. You have to take a little out of your pot and take a risk, because that little risk could turn into something huge. Again, I'm an advocate about it because I did lose my Bitcoin that was worth pennies. And now, as it turns out, it's not worth pennies anymore, right? The same thing have happened to 25% of Bitcoin owners. It's locked, it's lost, it's unmovable, can't get it. All right? Just think. You don't want that to be you 6 years from now, because that's what basically happened 10 years ago. So you don't want it to be 2027 and somebody tells you, hey, man, I wish I would have bought that strong, because, back in the day, I remember it was $1,000 a coin, $1,200 a coin. It dropped down to $50 a coin or something. I just thought it was a fad, because all these projects were going out of business and things like that. They were folding up, disappearing, rug pulling. And now, can you believe it? The coin's like $25,000. You would be like, are you kidding me? I could be making, did he just say 25 grand? I could be making like $2,500 a day. Did this man, you don't want to be in that position for a few kibbles and bits. Like, for instance, right now, you could actually get yourself 10 coins for under $600. I'm not saying it's going to blow up. I'm just saying this is why you have to take risks sometimes. Sometimes $600 is a risk. It's too much of a risk. Sometimes you can go over to neighbor. You got to buy a mansion for 10 neighbors, and right now it's $106. So what is that? 1,060, and they're on the AVAX network. So 1,070 is what it would cost you. But you're getting $10 a day, $10 a day, $300 a month if it stayed at that price point. But again, we don't know what's going to happen, because they're talking about a metaverse. They're doing metaverse. They're doing a game. They haven't performed the game part yet, but they're paying people out. So again, it has potential, but again, it's risk. Do you want to spend $1,100 for a risky chance? Do you want to spend $600 for a risk? Do you want to spend $400 for a risk, right? Because you can get a house in Neighbors for 4 neighbor tokens, which now would be $430. You can get a condo for 2 neighbor tokens, which is $220, let's say. All right. So I'm just saying, you have to take these little risks. You can go buy NFTs for $50 or 20, like the Powerful Dragons I was talking about. They're talking about staking those NFTs. They haven't done it yet, but you could have bought a Powerful Dragon for $30, $40. A risk. Who knows? It could be worthless. But is it $30 or $40 worth it to get an NFT? There's some NFTs selling on Solana network for $3-4, $2. But who knows what's going to happen? It could be worthless. But is it worth taking a risk with your beer money? That's what it boils down to, right? Okay. So just think of it that way. Now, if you want to take bigger risks, of course, there's bigger risks you can take, but it's all relative to what's in your pocket. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything else, because it's 1 hour, 16 minutes in. I know 15 minutes ago, I said, please smash the like button because it's free. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. You'll be lucky if you get the notification. So that's why you need to sign up for the newsletter down below. I do have the Discord now open, but it's not a big, flashy, fancy Discord. Who has time to be on the internet doing this type of stuff all the time? This is like Lamborghini, right? They are not advertising during the sports channels. You know why? Or the game shows, or late night when you're watching the series that comes on that you like, because they know that their customers who are buying $400, $500, $600 million cars aren't generally going to be sitting at home watching TV, because they don't want their competition to kick their ass. They're always learning, they're always moving forward, or they'll be at a conference, or they'll be doing something. They're not going to be sitting in front of the TV generally for hours at a time, nor are they going to be on the internet for hours at a time. All right, just keep that in mind, because that is another solution I'm giving you. You should be starting your own side hustles, your own business, your own extra streams. And again, do what you do best. You're an expert in something. A lot of people say, hey, I don't have skills, right? And that's the funny part. I'll give you guys an example, and I'll even use one of my daughters. So my daughter grows up, and okay, I'll tell you guys that probably some of you don't know what one of the pieces to my puzzle of my story, but my youngest daughter is by a different woman, and her mother passed away when she was 7 years old, somewhere in there. She was either 6 or 7. 2 years before she passed away, her mother actually signed her over to me, so I took care of her before she lived with me. Her mother got a health scare. So then she says, okay, I understand. She should probably stay with you. You're more stable and can handle things, right? Like responsible. So now my daughter, I'm an entrepreneur. My daughter stays with me full time. So now that means, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, the party still goes on. And I don't mean the party like I'm out clubbing, the party like I'm doing business, right? So that means this young woman is coming with me to do business stuff. So when you guys know that I was out there at an auction, when I'm out at a flea market, when I'm at a street fair, when I'm out here doing something, she's coming with me, showing the way. I'm showing her the way, setting up, putting up displays, showing her how to run a business, so to speak, showing her how to interact with consumers, customers, showing her at an early age all of this. We're doing video and everything, right? So we're in the video field. All of this, she's with me and doing what an entrepreneur dad should be doing. Dad, I need a little bit of money for something. Really? Cool. There's other entrepreneurs out here that need a little help. You should go negotiate. And she's like, okay, the hot dog's like $5-10. Probably wasn't that much, but whatever it was to eat, probably $3-4. But I'm not giving her the $3-4. She has to go earn it. So she's going to negotiate with other people while she's there to actually clean up their spot or help them sell or whatever she negotiates. So this is what she's doing when she's 6, 7, 8 years old. Fast forward now, and now she's older, grown woman. Back then, there was no internet. But can you believe, after she's that young, already negotiating her own contracts, after she's negotiating with grown adults, she has a problem with being on the internet? Who would have thought? She was built to be able to be the boss, do her own thing, built. But she even feels like I'm not good enough. I don't think I'm good enough for what I want to do. That is like millions of people. That could be you. And that's one of the solutions. You're going to have to overcome your fear. You're going to have to learn. You're an expert on something. Everybody's an expert. You love something. I don't even care if you watch TV. All right. You know, there are things on YouTube where people are actually doing what you call reactions, videos. They talk about the show last night. Perfect example. What do you have them housewife shows, right? Perfect example. You can go on YouTube and you'll see people giving excerpts on, can you believe this happened? They're making money because YouTube pays you. You see what I'm saying? So there's always a solution. You just have to think, wait a minute, this is what I do. This is what I'm an expert on. This is what I like to do. You don't have to be an expert. You like to do it. And so you don't mind talking about it. So why not do it? There's millions of other people that'll join in. All right. Don't look at my channel because my channel is my channel. Your channel could have 1 million views for what you do. All right. Everybody is different, but you got to start somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of your solutions because your financial freedom is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand that. We can't keep talking about that. All right. Vanessa Comagate, I so identify with that. My daughters were age 9 working at my biz in the mall. Exactly. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. I mean, exactly. It's crazy. Real crazy. I mean, not only that, it's like we traveled around the country and she's like, geez, speaking of 9 years old, Las Vegas, right? And we go to I'll give you guys another story today because I don't have much else to talk about. So why not give some stories, right? So we're traveling. I have a 4x4 truck. So I drive from here's I'll tell you what's going down. You guys have seen the pictures of the motorcycles I have. So at the time I didn't have the motorcycle. So I called the guy up and the motorcycle was in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, in case you don't live in California, and in case you do live in California, we pay more for vehicles in California than a state over. This is why there used to be a rule, I don't know if it still stands, that if you went to go buy a car and it was in low miles, let's say 2,000 miles or something like that, and you bought a car in Nevada, Arizona, anywhere else other than California, you would try to bring it over here and register it. They would not allow you to register the vehicle. They would want you to pay tax as if you bought the car for the price they sell it for in California. It was craziness. So here's the story. So now I'm going to get I'm looking for a motorcycle. I go over to Harley. Harley tells me some stupid number like $25,000 or $30,000 for a freaking motorcycle, a 2-wheel vehicle. I'm just like, have you lost your mind? I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? And then, of course, they start this American-made nonsense. And I'm going, hey, wait, isn't that a Mikuni carburetor? That's not made in America. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm out of here. So anyhow, I find this motorcycle that I love online. It was on Motorcycle Trader, but it's in Arizona. So this guy says, hey, Eric, I'm going to sell you this bike for like, I don't know, it was under 10 G's. I said, I like it. So I call him up and I say, hey, man, you have the title of this thing, right? Because I'm bringing you some cash when I come and see you. So you need to sign that title over to me. Yeah. Got it. No problem. I said, I'll be over there. Now, when I'm talking to him, I have no trailer, nothing. All I have is a 4x. So I drive the 4x to Vegas. They had something called those newspapers, Penny Savers at the time, right? Or Magic Ads or whatever, the magazine or newspapers where people used to sell something. And so they would put their ads in there. Lo and behold, I get to Vegas. A guy says he's selling me, he has it's like a 10-foot trailer. and he only wants like $150. My daughter is with me. So she's hearing me talk about this. We go over and see the guy. So she's there when we're negotiating because I would always give her the money, right? She would hold the money. And so then we're negotiating, and the guy says, well, I'll just give it to you for half price. I don't even know how we got to that. I was like, okay. Come to find out, it was like a surplus vehicle from like the state when they were putting some lumber on the back of this thing. So you got to understand the trailer's hefty, right? If lumber's on the back. So anyhow, now I'm sitting in Vegas. The guy, I tell him I'm coming over to Arizona. So we go up to the Grand Canyon, stay in Flagstaff for like 3-4 days in nice cool weather because this is summer. So I'm in Flagstaff. It's like 80 degrees. I'm loving it. He's like, I say, hey, man, in Phoenix, it looks like it's 112. I'm not coming down there. So finally, one day it goes down to 100 or something. So I go down there. I call him up. I couldn't believe what the dude says. He says something crazy. He says, yeah, meet me at the bank. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean meet you at the bank? What are you saying? He's like, yeah, the bank has the title to the motorcycle. I said, dude, I don't know how many vehicles you sell. The bank does not have your title sitting there to give to you when you pay it off. I said, I thought you already had title and I thought it was free and clear. He's like, no. I said, damn, that's crazy. I said, then I can't buy this from you. He's like, what? You came all the way from California. You're here in Arizona and you're going to leave? I said, you're damn right I'm going to leave. I said, you told me that you had title. You don't have title. There ain't nothing else to talk about. I'm out. So I left, went back up to Flagstaff in the 85-degree weather, 80 degrees. So while I'm up there for 3 days, I'm sitting there in the motorcycle trader that encompassed like Utah, Arizona, and Colorado, I think. And all of a sudden, I see this motorcycle that's like $2,000 or $3,000 less than what that guy was going to give me that motorcycle for. And I call up. The guy is a truck driver. He got the bike at an auction, insurance auction. The bike fell down on one side, so the tank is scraped. I said, no worries. I didn't tell him that, but in my head, I'm like, no worries, because I'm not going to have a stock bike, so you can forget that. So that worked out fine for me. And 3-4 G's less, fine as well. So then he says, I'm going to be in Arizona. That's where the bike is, unbelievably. He was in California, though, truck driver. And he goes, I'm in Cali, but I'll be there in like 2 days. My daughter and me go down 2 days later. The guy brings out the bike. She's holding thousands of dollars, so she can't be afraid of money. And so she's sitting there listening to me making a crazy deal like this. The guy says, we first of all, from the price point we were talking about, and my daughter's listening to me on the phone because we had cell phones then too. Listen to me talk. The price was supposed to be, in fact, I'll tell you guys the price. It was supposed to be like $7,500. That's what the price was supposed to be. We get down there and I start looking at it and I'm like, well, no, whatever, man. I don't know about this. And so he goes, because you know how you have to do it, right, ladies and gentlemen, your negotiations, sometimes you have to leave. So I'm like, I don't know. I might not be able to fix this up good enough. It's going to cost me X amount of dollars. He goes, all right, $6,500. I said, what? Now he has my attention. I'm sitting there like, that's kind of weird. So then I tell him, just 50, 58. He's like, oh, man, now you're trying to rob me. I said, that's exactly the point. What the frick? So we start laughing. So then I come up with this. I say, I'll tell you what. $6,250 if you win, $6,000 if I win, heads or tails. And he started laughing like, all right, let's do it. All right. So anyhow, whatever he picked, it didn't come good for him. So anyhow, my daughter hands him 6 G's. She's holding the money this whole time. She hears all this crazy nonsense. So now from that, she should know that just because somebody wants something doesn't actually mean that that's the price that you have to pay for it. So she knows that under all these negotiations and the ones she's already been doing herself, she has been grown up to know just because somebody says $100,000 doesn't mean they'll take 100. Sometimes they might take 90, 60, 80. You never know. You got to find out where that sweet spot is, right? So just letting you know, that's how you do it. But it's kind of funny. You would think a person that has been in that situation at a young age, you would not think that when the internet comes out and you can do stuff now that you couldn't do like even 10 years ago or 8 years ago, that you can make money from being on Instagrams and TikToks and all this. And she has all these experiences that she can even talk about, but she's got skills, right? But she will not go on here and she doesn't want to make the money that way. Very, very interesting. So don't feel bad if you're one of these people that says, well, I don't want to be on social media. That's okay. But pick out something else that can help you. And that's why lately I've been talking about Airbnb experiences, because you may be doing something already where you don't mind if somebody comes and joins you. And especially if somebody comes and joins you and you're getting money for it, something you're already doing for free, right? You wouldn't mind that. And if it's something you're doing that you charge people, either way, it works. You'll have additional customers. So that's why I talk about Airbnb experiences, because maybe you don't feel comfortable in front of a camera, and maybe you feel comfortable where you say, hey, meet me at this location, and then you go there and then you show people what they need to do or learn. So maybe that's another option for you, but that's a solution because your financial freedom is going to be at stake. And the fact that you're not going to be able to make extra money, that's going to hurt ordinary citizens like us, OCs, right? Because each time property values go up, each time rental values go up, each time food goes up, that means you have to make more money. Your boss is not going to give you an extra 20% on your paycheck year over year. That's unsustainable, not going to happen. All right. Yep. And they did festivals with me as well. It teaches them well. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. Didn't even get into any of the festival activities as well. All of that. And it's very interesting. So I'm pretty sure you can relate. And when your daughters or sons, I don't know what you have, but they would act like they're afraid. It's kind of like, wait, you were built for this. You've been doing this ever since you were 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. What do you mean? What do you mean? You have a problem? Yes, it's kind of crazy. But on the other front, here's the funny thing. So that same daughter I'm talking about, when it comes to a job, get this, she'll go work for somebody. But the beautiful thing is they start going, okay, we're going to pay you like $28 or $30 an hour. She's like, no, you mean you're going to pay me $40 an hour, right? She negotiates her wage, which is, it's awesome because a lot of people don't realize that you can. That's the beauty of it, right? But she'll do that. So I got to give her credit for that. But yeah, it's one of those things because business, once you have the business gene, then you'll be able to generate revenue for the rest of your life. At least you're not going to be afraid to go get it. So that's one of those things that is always good to actually have that little extra profit gene in your system, because then if things go very bad, you lose everything. Your job is taken away and you have no income coming in. At least you're not going to go sit on the couch and be in depression and just sit there. At least you'll go and do something. So that's what you want to do, right? So that's a solution, ladies and gentlemen. Even though it may not seem like one to you, it is a solution, all right? So just keep that in mind. Okay. Let's go. We're 1 hour, 34 minutes in. Please watch tomorrow. Watch for it. I don't know when it's going to happen. The live stream, the midday live stream, not the early edition. It could be considered the early edition. So why don't we call it the early bird edition? Live stream's coming out tomorrow. New video is going to be dropped tomorrow. And we'll be talking about SSN Lifestyle a little bit more and talking about what I just gave you guys some info on tonight, plus a few other things. It's not just going to be that. All right. So Passive Income 2022. You guys know I'm passionate about this. And also SSN Lifestyle is about to blossom because I got one of the final little things I wanted, because I wanted to create and make sure the bonus pool was going to be sustainable and was going to be there for a long, long time. So I had to build this back end ecosystem and figure some things out. So this is going to be very awesome as well. So I'm kind of excited about that right now. And I'm also excited about some of the additional things that you guys don't know about yet, but we're going to talk about that in a new video coming out probably on Friday. And the SSN Lifestyle channel, I'm going to make my first video probably tomorrow as well. I'm going to be busy here in the lab. All right. So again, and let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. I know some of you may be watching this right now and you may be going, how come I can't get in the chat room? That's because Wednesday night live streams are members only chat, meaning members with the icon can only be in the chat room. That's it. Nobody else can be in the chat room. On Monday and Friday night, guess what? Everybody can be in the chat room. And so don't miss our Friday night live stream, which is going to be at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. That's every Friday, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been a little bit late these days, but hey, since I'm here out on the road, maneuvering through this LA situation is kind of weird. I'm not used to it because I actually never lived in LA. I've had a lot of fun down here, but that's one of the reasons I never lived in LA, because it's unpredictable traffic situations. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I might have to wrap this up a little bit early tonight. Let me see if I have anything else we need to talk about, because if you're late and didn't get the news, I'm going to bring up something about that hotel that we were talking about. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the beach situation. Yeah. I'm trying to see. Yeah, will not operate rather than we will offer. Yeah, they're going to offer a rental management program, which is kind of interesting. They already were doing that, but I think now they're just going to go full bore. Instead of a Marriott hotel, they're just going to go rental management implementation 100%. So people are still going to be checking in at the front desk, which is going to be cool, but they're not running it as a hotel, meaning you know what's going to happen. You check in and check out. So I have a feeling that means electronics probably. That also means it'll be more like an Airbnb experience. So that's going to be very cool. So I like that a lot better. When we were over in the Philippines, check it out 2 years ago, I think, is the Philippine videos. They were set up for this exact same type of thing. You basically came into the place, they had a lobby, and it's just like a regular hotel feel because they have somebody there as a receptionist or check-in person, right? They're just like, well, where are you staying? And then they would have like your room key, or they would say they would have boxes behind them, and then they would go, okay, we're getting your key, and they would hand you the key. All right. So it works similar to that. Hotel, it seems similar to a hotel, except you didn't have to use your card for deposit like a hotel. So it was all paid on Airbnb or whatever platforms it was in the Philippines, for instance. And so you didn't have to worry about anything. And so I think they're going to be doing the same thing. So that works fine. All right. Now they're going to charge a fee just like they should, but the housekeeping fee is going to be on the platform. So again, that means potentially more money in your pocket. But then again, how much are they going to charge? 20%, 30%? We don't know. But nevertheless, the project's going to be still good because they still have the restaurants. They still have all the spa, the salon, spa, event room, fitness room. They still have all of that, just like the hotel was going to have. So nothing is actually taken away. It's just that Marriott will not be the hotel. All right. So that's the good thing about the beach, in case you joined us late. All right. So they're still in effect. That still holds their status then. I still like it. Okay. And they've had to make a few changes, obviously, to contracts. So that's going to be very interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen. we're going to wrap this up. So if you have any further questions, let me know if anybody received any further YouTube notifications. And if anybody saw the trailer, let me know. Okay. Now, I guess I shouldn't go just yet. Let me go back to this screen and let me go see stock market today. Let's talk stock market, even though we talked about it earlier. It's very interesting what's happening right now. Let me go here because it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. Look at this. It dropped, came back up, and they're all about even. So 4183 is S&P 500. If this goes down to 4168, which it could, that means we're in a not in a recession, but it's called a correction. So, and then if it goes 10% below that, then that would be a bear market. So we're not even in a bear market yet. I just want to know if earnings goes down as companies keep going, if earnings are going down, if revenues are going down, then how are stock prices not going to go down? Let me know what you guys think about that. Sooner or later, something has to give, right? If we're not making the same amount of money and our profits aren't the same, then how is our stock price going to stay the same or higher? Very, very interesting dynamic. And here's the last thing before I let you guys go, because a lot of people aren't understanding the real estate situation. All right. You're out here messing around, but I'm going to bring this up again. I did this on Monday. I'm going to do this again today, but this is different what I'm trying to do today. So let me, probably Marrero might know interest rates. Wilson Koo, I haven't seen him this evening, so he would know interest rates, what they were like 3 months ago or so. But let's just say I'll keep it 3.5, let's say. All right. So here's the situation when people do not think in a certain way. So let me make sure you guys see this on the screen. Look at this here. I want to just illustrate something. So let's just say 4 months ago, which it was about 4 or 5 months ago, you could have gotten for a $500,000 house, you could have gotten probably a 3.5 loan, right? So that would be, and again, always pay attention. If you do pay for 30 years, you pay $810,000. So in 30 years, when somebody tells you my house is worth 1.2 or something, you paid 800,000 plus the upkeep, plus the replacement cost for ACs, heaters went out, dishwashers, dryers, refrigerators, all this stuff, roofs that might have leaked, you've tiles that might have broken. I mean, all this you pay, but you don't count none of that, right? The lawn care, the HOAs, you don't count none of that. But you paid all of that, and then you paid this 810 and then some. But that's not what I want to talk about tonight. What I want to talk about tonight is you guys and a lot of people may not understand inflation as you know it is in different forms. And here's one of the forms. So when the Federal Reserve a month ago came out and said, hey, we're going to increase interest rates, the lenders already started moving up to 4. And before I get that, make sure you guys take note. 2250, let's round down, 2250 at 3.5. When you moved it up to 4, we're at 25, right? 25, I'll round up, 2550. So that's 200, right? But look at this number. If you hold your house for 30 years, that's 914. That's not 810 no more. Huge difference. And then look at here what it's at around today. So just in the last 3 months, instead of $2,350, you're around $2,850, and in 30 years you pay $1 million instead of 810. Inflation has already kicked your ass right now. I just want to illustrate this. You have to understand this is inflation. You could have been paying $2,350 for that same $500,000 house. Now you have to pay $2,850 or more. That's $500 more. And never mind what's going to happen when they raise the interest rate again in another 2 months. Because this right here, this 6% thing, will not be out of the realm of what's going to happen. So now you're talking about another $800 per month just because of interest rate increase, which is inflation when you look at it in a different way. So just keep these things in mind when people say, like government entities say, hey, we're just going to increase the state tax 0.01%. We're just going to increase the hotel occupancy rate 0.25%. All of this increases cost across the spectrum of your life. So your financial freedom's at stake. So if you don't have any way to bring in passive income, bring in extra streams of revenue, then that means you are going to have problems because we have entered into an unsustainable situation. Something has to give. The way this works is there's a teeter-totter, right? You guys I used to talk about the teeter-totter. If you have, let's just put it in this terms, 70% of the population is on this side, the small picture, right? And 30% of the population is on this side, the big picture, because they own more of the wealth, right? 30% owns just as much, well, actually more than the babies over here. You can tell by these pictures, if you put them on a scale, what's going to happen. The big picture, I can't get it right. The big picture over here is always going to weigh more than the little picture. So that means they're going to the ground in safe confines, comfortable. Meanwhile, the little picture is going to be up in the air. How are you going to get down? You might have to break some legs. You might have to do something, but you just ain't going to be able to just get down nice and easy on the ground, just like the big boys. So the teeter-totter's already happened. That's what you got to understand. And you got to take this a little more seriously right now, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking about it for 3 years, lightweight. Hey, it's coming. It's going down. It's happening. Well, it's here. So this is not the time to go in your shell, go in your cocoon. Now is the time to actually come up with a new plan, come up with something that's going to get you some additional passive income. And that's why we talk about crypto and real estate and many other ways to make additional streams of revenue, because it's going to be needed. This is going to be the way of life. If you think in the last 30 years that it went from one person being able to take care of their household, and now it generally is 2 people need to for a household, well, guess what? It's more than 2 people now. All right. And it's evidenced by just go look at how many people are living in a situation where they have to rent a room. All right. And how many people who formerly would never have rented a room in their house, they're doing that now. Nothing wrong with that. But that's what this is coming to, because it's making more sense. Because each time I go to the grocery store and the same thing I bought last week now cost me $125 instead of $100. Now I'm sitting there like, okay, this is unsustainable. So if somebody's going to rent a room that I don't use and they're going to say, oh yeah, they'll give me $700-800 a month. Why not? But that's what we're dealing with right now in America. And it's going to get worse. The kids aren't going to be able to go out here and get a job that they're getting paid $15, $20, $25 an hour and go live where? when you think about it. Where a 1-bedroom apartment is over $1,000. I mean, so how are they supposed to live by themselves? They're not. They're going to have to move back in with relatives, family, friends, things like that, and a large percentage of the population. So there's nothing wrong with any of that. But all I'm trying to say is you still will need some households to create extra revenue, because next year we could have another 20% inflationary rate. Then what? I mean, start looking at your numbers right now. What if everything costs you 20% more? And I just don't mean like how you're doing it simply. I don't mean just like you go, okay, Eric, I spend $3,000 a month, so that means it's going to cost me $600 more, so that's $3,600. That's not exactly what I mean. What I mean is start looking around, like, groceries didn't go up just 30%, right? So when you start taking things separate, you start going, okay, groceries went up 50%. Then you start going, okay, this gas thing went up 30%. So each category separately, then you realize, wait a minute, my electric bill was this much last year. How much was it the year before, and how much was it the year before that? Now you're realizing, oh, wait a minute, that went up 40%. If you have cable bills or anything like that, that went up 10%. So when you start breaking it down, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, it just wasn't a simple 10% increase. It ends up being more than that. So all I'm saying is you got to take this seriously, ladies and gentlemen, and members here of the channel. You guys always take it serious, and that's what I love. And so I'm going to have to wrap this up. We're almost 2 hours in. So again, smash the like button because it's free. Let the YouTube guys know we have people in the house. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about, and click the all notification bell. But because YouTube doesn't like to send out notifications to all the thousands of subscribers, then please sign up for the newsletter, sign up for the Discord group, sign up for our social media. All the links are down below, plus some other links you might like. But get them all, ladies and gentlemen, because I love that you give us support, and I appreciate it. All right. Auntie Val, Professor, I really believe many people will be in a world of hurt fairly soon. I don't plan to be one of them, nor my family. That's why we keep working and looking long term. That's exactly right, Professor Auntie Val, long-term outlook, and that's why you have to keep working. Everything that they taught you, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this, but it was a lie. It worked at one time. When the country was after 1945, it worked. One person could bring in the money in the household if they're married or if they had, other people living with them. One person could go work, enough for everything and money left over to put in the bank. Then as we get into off the gold standard and inflation kicks in, now it takes two people to be in the workforce, or one person that is kicking butt and has a nice salary. But generally in most households in America, it takes two people. And now we went to the third level right now over the last 10 years. After 2008, now we're in the third level. The third level means you need 2.5 to 3 in the household with revenue coming in. And most people simply have husband, wife. Where's the third going to come from? That's generally not a solution. So now people are renting out their rooms, renting out that room at the backyard or whatever they're doing. That's where the third's coming from. Or the third is coming from the side hustles is now a thing. Being an entrepreneur is sexy. Starting your own business is beautiful. That's the third person in the household now. So this is already happening. What happens over the next few years when it gets worse? 4? Who's going to be the 4? This is escalating rapidly. This isn't something that you can sit back and go, oh yeah, and things are only going up 1% a year or 3% a year or 2% a year. They're taking chunks, 20%, 20%, and another 20%. That's 60%. Nobody can absorb 60% increases. Not even the trillion-dollar company, billion-dollar companies. If all of a sudden if you told them year after year, hey man, this is going to cost 20, everything your bottom line says is 20%, take off 20%. They'd be like, okay, we got that, but what are we going to do next year? You go, nothing. Take off another 20%. They'd be like, wait, we can't keep doing this. We're going to be out of business in like 5 years. What are you talking about? That's the way you have to look at it. All right. So enough with my preaching for the night, because I didn't want to get into that. But your financial freedom's at stake. You know, I'm passionate about helping you guys and making you think certain different things and making you think about the future a different way. Just don't sit here and go, yes, I see it happening. Yes, I understand. All right. Well said. Always thinking about our future self. Exactly, Andy Ortiz. Leah Dennis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room. And of course, the icons next to the name and says, hello, SSN fam. I am checking. I'm sorry. Checking in late. I will definitely need to catch the replay. Crown me. No worries, Leah Dennis. Thank you so much. It was very nice to see you and appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, check out the replay. I've been going on a little rant tonight because your financial freedom is at stake. You have to understand this. I just had to go do some repairs and stuff, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like, okay, yeah, that's about right. 30% more than it used to be. It's kind of crazy. So everything made sense, but it's kind of hard when you're going to places and you dealt with people before and you know what prices used to be just a year back, and people are stuff that used to be like $90, $100 is now like $130, $140. I'm like, what's going on? It seems like what's going on, but we know what's going on. So the days are numbered and limited. So everything's costing way, way too much, and it's only going to increase. So don't worry about being late, Leah Dennis. We're about to wrap it up, though. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for waiting for me once again. Before I started the live stream, I appreciate your support. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates once again. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet. And you know what? I know it's hard out here, and I said that before. And it just dawned on me, I got my last story to tell you. Because remember, I ran that video where Don Cheadle was in that. And remember, I was alluding to the fact that I found a video with him at the final table where he actually won that tournament. So I got to ship that or send it to him, because he probably doesn't have it, because it's actually off my camera. So he probably has some from actual media guys, but I'm going to send it to him anyhow, because sometimes you never know. People kind of like pictures that they haven't seen in their situations. But there is one that if any of my old poker friends ever see this, because they could, I got a picture that all you guys are going to be envious about, right? So I'm going to show you guys on Friday night the picture and the video. And of course, like I was saying earlier about poker, it's generally a one-person event. And, it ruins relationships, because you have to sit around at poker tables for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours a day. If you want to be really good, you got to play. And generally, if you play in person, you only get 20 hands an hour. So you can imagine most people play for 8, 9, 10 hours. So trying to be in a relationship and say, well, I'll be home at 5 a.m. or 2 a.m., that's kind of hard, right? So this picture that I have actually four. I'll just give you guys a preview. 4 women in the poker world. And we're at, this is going to be awesome, because you guys know one of my videos is actually Shoes has his birthday party, but 4 of the women are somebody, and we have a picture. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to show that on Friday that I found out of the blue. I also found something else that I'm going to run on Friday. So you guys got to stay tuned. Remember, I was talking about landauction.com, and they used to have infomercials. Now, I don't know how long Vanessa Comagate's been in LA, but if she's lived in LA since 2000, then she saw the infomercials that used to be on for landauction.com, where they would be running their 1-minute commercial during the day, and then they'll be running their infomercials late night, and then things like that. Well, I found one of their 1-minute commercials, and I'm going to show it on Friday night. And yes, of course, I am in it. So you guys will check this out. All right. So how about that? That'll be a treat for Friday night. So there's a teaser for you to come back and check it out. All right. Okay. Auntie Val, with this heart, with the strength and the support. All right, here we go. This will be it. Hey, Eric, do you have any advice on looking for a clothing supplier and what thread count I should get? Okay. No real advice. Simple. Okay. This is very, very hard to answer. First of all, Vanessa Comagate's in LA, California kid. I don't get my clothes supplied from anywhere, really, because I just tell them I want Bella Canvas. But Bella Canvas, due to the shortage, you don't have all colors, all sizes, all anything. So then they had to change to like, okay, we can only get like 5 of these. Then that means we got to get American Apparel. We got to do things like that. But if you're in a big city, well, I'll use LA. All right. In LA, there are clothing suppliers, and I don't use them, but I cannot remember their name, unfortunately. But you can probably Google them. So check this out. But the same works in New York, Chicago, Texas. I don't know where you're actually at, Andy Ortiz. I think, if you're in Philly with DJ Robbie D, the same type of rules apply. Let me see if I can find something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can Google it because, yeah, fashiongo.net, LA Fashion District. There you go. All right, there you go. I mean, I generally look. I'm going to tell you something. This is funny you mentioned this. I used to just go downtown LA back in the day, and I would roll down if I wanted to get into some vendor categories. I'm going to put this on the here. I'll do this. I just go downtown, and they would just tell me. I mean, I'd be going into sweatshops and all kind of stuff. But here, just for you, man. I'm going to put this in the chat room. There you go. Vanessa Comagate then said it. It's in LA. It's in the alley downtown. She's got it right. She knows. That's exactly it. In the alley, in the sweatshops. That's where you go. And she says it again. All wholesale deals everywhere. Exactly. So most cities are like that. So if you're in New York, Philly, ATL, I don't know if so much in Texas, but LA is a gold mine, quite frankly. But anyhow, I put in the chat room, if you don't live in the area, there's the chat room. And there she is. If you're in LA, it's the alley downtown. She's right. She's exactly right. In fact, in person is even better. Hey, Auntie Val, all is good. I just need to say Eric B. and our SSN fam are truly priceless. Thank you so much, Leah Dennis. So that's the fashion district. I just simply did a Google LA situation. So it's better in person, quite frankly. Because when you're in person, all of a sudden you're just like getting stuff like so cheap. Here we go. Here goes a list. Let me see who's on this list. I'm just Googling. Let me see if they have the guys. That's not the guys that I'm thinking of. I can't remember the guy's name. They got a couple guys that start with the V. I can't remember, but I don't get mine like that because I'm doing screen printing. So I just have the screen printers order me up what I want. But if you want to get into some things, it's downtown LA, for instance, New York. Those are the top spots, in my opinion. If you can get to any of those downtown in the garment districts, then you can go make your own deals. And we're talking about not just T-shirts. I'm assuming you're talking about if you wanted to make sweats, you wanted to make any other type of clothing, that's what you're talking about, I'm hoping, because that's what you would need to do. Let's see here. And actually, some of these guys have their own website. So if you actually are able to buy from them wholesale wise, yeah, none of these are ringing a. Oh wait, BLV Apparel. This might be it. No, it's not Boulevard. LA Showroom, Wholesale Fashion Shop. Okay, here goes one. Shop JNNA, but that's a little formal probably. Yeah, I don't see the guys on the list. Let me go click the first one. Maybe that's what they are because I know it was like, I don't think this is BLV though, but I'm just going to show what I'm talking. No, it's not BLV. But anyhow, sky's the limit. You got to just search around. You'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, see, I wish I could remember these guys' names. It's been so long. But anyhow, hopefully that gets you on the right track. All right. Hopefully that gets you on the right track for that. That's how we do it. And I'll put this on the screen again. If you're in LA, it's the alley downtown. That's definite. That is really, really the truth. And not only for fashion, but I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to say it what it is. There's a lot of people out here how can I say this? Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all this stuff, right? Can I ask, the only way you're going to know if it's real or not is you would have to have like the real one sitting right there. And not only are you going to have the real one sitting right there, you're going to have to start looking at the stitching inside of it, all kind of things, because the fake ones are very, very good. And then there's one little other problem that occurs. And Vanessa Comegate probably knows what I'm about to say. So you're hanging out in downtown LA, you're rolling through, and you see what you think are like Louis Vuitton, Gucci bags. Let's just say it's that. I don't care, any other fashion brand. And then you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, that looks like real. And then you just so happen to have one of those, the real ones on you, and you start looking at the thing and you're just like, wait, everything matches up. It all matches up. What the heck's going on? Then you find out, oh yeah, they have some extras. They got some real ones. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, we all try to help each other on here. Exactly. That's what we do. I remember you saying you were very picky of the quality of your clothing. I'm the same. That's why I asked. Yeah, Andy Ortiz, the reason, yeah, that's exactly right. So basically, it's not so much the person. So like I said, so I want Bella Canvas t-shirts, right? And then if I'm picking some other item, then I have a preferred clothier, so to speak. So I want that material. That is what I want. So I tell them that in this environment, we can't get exactly what we want. So now we got to go with another. Like I said, I got to go with American Apparel on some of the gear, right? And so I got to live with it. It's the same cotton, whatever, but it doesn't feel the same quite. It's close, but not exactly because of the way they're weaving it or something like that. So that's why it all depends. If you know what you need, then you can tell the supplier, this is what I want. All right. If you know you want a certain thread count or you want a certain type of cotton polyester blend, let's say, then you tell them, hey, I want like 90% cotton, 10% polyester. Okay. Give them the blends. All right. Then you have them find it for you and then they call you. Make it easy on yourself. All right. So hopefully that helps you out. Good evening. Got notifications. Drip Animal Farm Cryptocurrency. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm very glad to hear you got the notifications. That's number 4. Thank you, Vanessa. Says Andy Ortiz. You know about all the deals. Exactly. And Andy Ortiz, I've done it all. Exactly. Vanessa Comegate. And if she's done it all, then that means she's been downtown. She knows what time it is in downtown LA. She knows she goes through the back app. Hold up a minute, because Vanessa Comegate, this reminds me of some things. Okay, so Andy Ortiz, let me give you some other things. So there's such a thing that I used to always tell my friends. I go, there's always a deal going through the front door, but I always call it back door. There's backdoor deals as well. So when she says alley, that's exactly right. Alley is where you want to go. You go to the front door, you're like consumer. I go through the back door, I'm getting it 50, 60, 70% off of that price that they're telling me I'm getting a wholesale price from the front door. So all I'm saying is there's always certain things that happen in different industries, but there's always a way to get even a lower wholesale price. So it's funny that she mentioned through the alley, because that's literally what it is. You go walking around downtown and you go in the front door, the dudes are telling you, okay, Eric, yeah, this is $8, $9, $10 or whatever. Then you're on the other side where they're like, okay, this is where all the wholesalers, we're going through the alley, jumping over some bums. We're going through some other back door through the sweatshop. Next thing you know, the thing that they're telling you $8 or $9 per dozen, let's say, now all of a sudden you go over here and they're like, oh yeah, that's just $3.50. And you're like, it's the same thing. They're like, yeah, but because we came this far. I'm just like, this is crazy stuff that happens. So I'm just letting you know. So don't go with the first deal, even though the deal could be cool, because you never know. I'm sure Vanessa has plenty of stories, especially if she went to downtown LA, like I said. And this is no exaggeration. I'm telling you guys, this is what entrepreneurs do to get the deals, right? You're walking over homeless people well, I haven't been downtown, but back in the day, you'd be walking over homeless people in the garment district, downtown LA. All right. That's how crazy this is. Going through the back alley, going through sweatshops, and you're going through sweatshops, watching brands that you see in stores. These guys are sewing stuff in sweatshops in LA, in New York. I've been in New York too. It's crazy. And I know in New York, I'm going to say this. In New York, I was there one time where there's a brand name. They're making the garments. Let's just say 50 garments are made. What they did was, though, they made 60. 50 of the garments went to the actual guys. The other 10 garments goes off the truck, selling in the black market. All right. And that happens in all garment districts, by the way. All right. Just keeping it. I'm just keeping it real. You guys got to know it's real out here in the field. Things aren't what they appear to be. So when you're going to one of these boutique stores, it's a funny thing. The boutique owners, they're downtown LA, they're downtown New York, they're downtown Miami, they are getting these garments downtown in these locations. All right. Then they're selling them in their stores for hundreds of dollars that they just got for $20 a piece. I'm just saying. All right. You guys got to understand the clothing business is one hell of a business. It's like being in the drug business, quite frankly. All right. Land of the fake designers, compliments of China. Yep, exactly. And 15, 20 years ago, those fake items was so damn fake, you could tell. Well, here's the problem that has occurred that I told everybody back then that was going to be a problem now. When you have these high-end brands letting it be made in China to sell to the Chinese, that means they can now make extras. And they're shipping them around the world. That's why the fakes are so close to the real ones, or even matches the real ones. All right. So, and that's the other thing that in America, again, you travel around the world and people go stupid Americans. I'm just like, I know, because in fact, I don't know if we've had anybody go over to Asia, but if you go over to Asia And the same thing happens. You go back and go looking for garments and looking for somebody to make your stuff. You will find out, you'll be sitting in places and you'll be like, wait, this factory actually makes the actual product here? And you're like, and they go, oh yeah, we just leave it they like leave it half done. They leave something off where it's not actually made. So they have to put things together in the States. So they'll like sew this piece together in the US. So then the people in the US say it's made in the USA. But it was actually all pieced together in China. So they actually have the whole damn thing in China, except when they ship it out, it's pieced. It's crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And let me put it to you. I'll give you one that I can talk about. If you're into golfing, there was a Callaway golf clubs, which used to be off the charts, right? They're allegedly made, like I believe in Cali or something. They're not made in Cali. Let's just put it that way. They're not. They're made in China or somewhere in Asia. I think it was China. But anyhow, they're made in Asia. And they make it, the shaft, the club, the hand, everything's made. They assemble it in the USA. And then Callaway has the nerve to say it was USA. So friends go, because they're pilots, they fly into Asia. They call ahead and say, I need 10, not 10 clubs, 10 sets of Callaway clubs and bags. They put them together for them. These guys are paying $100 for a set. All right. This is crazy. And bags. And then they bring them back in the US. Never touched US soil being assembled or nothing. So once you understand the world has you fooled, you're out here paying like that Apple iPhone that people are spending, what, $1,400, $1,500, $1,200 for, and it's only made for like $250 or something. I mean, and then in Shenzhen, they're actually taking that iPhone apart, creating their own phones, and then selling it. Man, talk about America. You guys, you're out here getting fooled, and you're spending your hard-earned money on stuff that you don't even know where it's made or what it's worth. But you're seeing a tag on there, and you say it's perceived to be Louis Vuitton, and so I'm going to spend $3,000 on a little handbag like this big. I mean, it's crazy, right? So anyhow, I'm just letting you guys know it's not what you think. Noted, the backdoor deals are the way. Exactly. All those rules apply, no matter how you slice it. And since we're talking about a lot of things, I'll talk about something else that has nothing to do with financial freedom at stake. Here are the solutions. Let's talk about some other things. So, everybody wants to go to the hangout, rich, famous, do all these crazy things, right? So my friends, sometimes I'd bring them with me, and we'd be going to these places, and everybody shows up at the front. But here's the thing: if you're VIP, if you're on another different list, you normally won't come through the front door. You're not rolling through the front door. You're coming through the back. That's the thing that most people don't realize. So the guys that don't want to be seen, they come through the back door. They're not coming through the front door. So all the time, my friends would always be like, how come we're always going through the back door? I said, because we don't need to go through the front door. They'd always be like, this is funny. So I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with the back door sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll give you my last one, the poker story. So there's this famous player named Phil Ivey. I told about this before. There's a World Series of Poker that happens in Las Vegas. It generally used to be in the summer. Then they started at the end of May. It's been all over the place. Phil Ivey never walks in through the casino and all that. He goes where, let's call it, where staff of the casino walks in the back hallways. You know, they're like 8, 9, 10 feet wide and generally, you know, whatever, 30 feet high, 20 feet high, because you're in the convention centers. He actually walks through there instead of walking down the aisle because he's famous and people would stop him all the time and try and get autographs, take pictures, or do whatever. So whenever he would come in, he would be escorted through the back way to come out to where his table would be. So then he'd play there. So I never saw the dude ever. He's never been at one of my tables. I never ran into him anywhere. And then I finally figured it out. I was like, wait a minute. How's this guy getting in this room and leaving the room? Then I realized he's going through the back door every time. He doesn't care about publicity. So he's walking through the back way, comes in, leaves to the side, through the back alleyways and out. So I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got to wrap this up. All right, let's see. I started at the beginning, but we're going to wrap this up. Thanks, guys. He says, land of, noted. The back door deals are the way. That's one way to try and do it. You can go through the front door, but try to do the back too, man. And it's always better to go in person. Over the phone is one thing, but if you can talk to a wholesaler in person, you'll get a lot better deal, quite frankly. All right, we're going to wrap it up. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to come back on Friday night, 9, 10 p.m. and watch for the early bird edition tomorrow live stream. And video is going to drop tomorrow as well. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.